Alright, so I've got to go pick up groceries from Walmart, and I hate it when vehicles do that. The school drop off, and they want to zoom right past you, and they get right in your blind spot too, to where you can't even see them when you crank your neck. But I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the trauma that caused my BPD. I've shared a little bit of that trauma with you guys, but today I wanted to talk to you about the trauma that started it, and how that trauma has continued over the years. So, I'm going to get into some very personal information here. When I was 2 years old, my mom was pregnant with my little brother, and my dad cheated on her. He was working security, and he met a girl at the apartments that he was working security on, and cheated on my mom, got her pregnant. And my mom found out by receiving a Valentine's Day card, said "Happy Valentine's Day, Daddy." And I mean, my mom had opened my dad's mail thinking it was like a bill or something, or like a congratulations card maybe, since my mom was due at the beginning of March. But that's how my mom, inside was a picture of a newborn baby, and that's how my mom found out that my dad cheated on her. And we moved in with my grandparents. Now, my memory on this is quite foggy. I was 2 years old. I do remember some things from when I was 2. But, like, one night, I woke up in the middle of the night, had a bad dream, went into my parents' bedroom. My dad had asked if I could sleep with them. My dad was upset about it. And then I woke up again because I had wet the bed, and my dad was upset about that. But I don't remember a whole lot around the time my parents separated. All I remember is that one day we were living with my dad. The next day we weren't. My dad didn't say goodbye to me or anything. Looking back at my baby book, and that had a lot of updates in it around that time and all this. My dad was there when my brother was born at the beginning of March. I remember them bringing my brother home. My grandparents owned a retirement home, and they were watching us in the basement of their retirement home, which was like an apartment. And I remember my mom and dad bringing my brother home from the hospital, and they had gotten each of us kids, me, my brother, and my sister, older siblings, each a small gift. I had gotten a white plastic Indian figurine. It was kind of like the Green Army Men, only bigger, and it was an Indian chief. I do remember that. But that was the last time I had seen my dad until, I want to say, my preschool graduation. He didn't come to my 3rd birthday party. Didn't come to my 4th birthday party. And I wasn't expecting him at my preschool graduation. But I do remember after my graduation, going to my mom and then hearing a voice behind her saying, "Congratulations, buddy." And me recognizing the voice and looking and seeing my dad there behind my mom. And me being really excited to see him. But that was it. I think I'm kicking up rocks or something. But in the divorce, my dad was supposed to get my brother and me every other weekend and every other holiday. Well, we didn't actually, that never actually happened. The entire time we were growing up, when we were supposed to go to my dad's, he would call at the very last minute while we were standing there waiting for him, watching him at the window. And, we lived on a farm, so we could see him coming from, literally a mile away. So anyway, while we were standing there waiting for him, watching for him outside the window, that's when he would call at the time that we expected him to be there and say, "Hey, something came up," or "Hey, this past week driving the truck was exhausting for me. I'm not going to be able to make it this weekend." We actually saw my dad, went to my dad's maybe once or twice a year if we were lucky. He did come to my 16th birthday party. He had gotten me a car on trade, I guess you could call it. It was an 83 Crown Victoria, but he didn't give it to me then and there. He didn't actually let me have it then. He just told me that the car was mine, but it needed some repairs done to it. He was going to take it home and fix it, and then I could have it, so that I could come see him, and all this. It was always about him. So he took it, and then that winter is when he finally gave it to me, and none of the stuff that he said needed fixed was actually fixed on it. And he held it over my head for years after that. Anytime we got into an argument about anything, he would always throw that in my face that he bought me a car. He had gotten me another car, a little Geo Prism as well. These are like cars that had he had traded $100 value for both of them each, which I'm not saying anything about the price or anything like that, but he would always hold it over my head saying that he got me 2 cars, he never got my siblings any vehicles, But the only reason he got me these vehicles was because so that he didn't have to make the effort to come and see us. We would always have to go see him. So anyway, when growing up, because of that trauma of my dad never told me bye, and we rarely saw him and everything. As a kid, I didn't understand it at the time. I didn't realize the reason why at the time. But anytime my mom would go to work, she would leave early in the mornings because she worked day shift. You know what? I'm going to save this for part 2 because we're coming up on 10 minutes. So I'm going to save this for part 2. Tune back in for the second part.